is Matt Shapiro.
Hey.
Matt, you are first, my friend.
Oh boy. So Siyea is an international, or it's accounts receivable, but in an intelligent way. So right now, the reason how it came to be is that accounts receivable is traditionally a revenue draining department, and we're here to protect your revenue. That's why you have a picture of a dam, kind of relevant these days. And so what we do is, our whole company is positioned towards other companies. We are a B2B solution, but the end user is a company's client. So our whole, public-facing approach is for companies, because that's who we sell to. And to plug into the humanitarian piece, the origin of this idea came from protecting also consumers from collections. We're kind of like the anti-collections. We want to stop people from charged off accounts. Just want to make sure that's clear. So what we do here, actually, you know what? Here, let's let me highlight some of these people. So because I like, believe it or not, I don't know everything. So I have some really great advisors, and right now we're in the midst of an angel round. If anybody wants to talk to me after. So it's really important for this solution to have credibility. We deal with a lot of traditional and non-traditional financial data. So between these advisors, former CEO of Accenture and just a variety of people, Ryan Denon, he's CEO and former COO of Wealthfront. These are people that have really tailored our tool to be on point and secure. So I just think it was important to highlight. Now, our tool is really simple for consumers to use. It was designed that way. So what we do is we send out an email or a text link to any company that has a variety of aging accounts. Right now we sell to law firms and healthcare. Of course, any company has bad debt. Those are the first two that we found to be early adopters. So what we take is their entire list of accounts that are aging. We create profiles for all of them. We then use our machine and some of our bots to bring together both traditional and non-traditional financial data. And what we do then is we assess their current financial picture. So we know the account is aging because they can't pay the bill based on the current terms. And generally that's pay all the whole balance now. So what we do is we assess their picture, and we like the machine decides, can they pay 100% over the next year, maybe 80% over the next year. But what we do is for every company, we define the parameters prior to going live. So let's say a company says, we'll give you a year. We won't accept any payment over 75% or under 75%. And now our machine goes at all their past due accounts and spits out the amount of people who can pay 100% of their, or 75 to 100% of their bill over the next year. And then we send them new payment plans. It's all done electronically. So one of the ways too to switch up the business model is no call centers, no mail, none of that bullshit. So what we also do is we're kind of like an unofficial invoicing company. So once someone logs in, they get to review all of their invoices. They can see what they owe, why they owe it, why we're reaching out to them. We actually found that a big part of bad debt is because people don't know that they have it, or they don't know where it came from. So we give them all that information. So they can review it, and now they have a minute to tell us why, a lot of times unemployment. And so for us, it's a moment for consumers to be heard. A big problem is that consumers are not heard, and so they have their opportunity to do that. Once they hit next, which is not nexting, they go to a basic payment screen. And once they go there, they type in their payment address, all the confirmation numbers come out, and then they can populate it to their calendar and just sit back and have their debt resolved. Let me show this real quick too. We have an admin panel that every single client will use. And with that panel is where all of their information is. Very nice. All right, what are the questions?
How do you get on your website?
Let me know. So right now, the way to get on our site, it's only for clients right now. So let's say you're law firm ABC, we give you a login, you can access it through our site, and then this is where you'll see your dashboard. That's how you get to it. If you're a user, there's a white label solution for you. We send you the link by email and text, and that's how you access the tool that way. So it's kind of two separate tools.
Matt, you've talked about the product. Can you talk a little bit about how much money you're raising, how you guys monetize, and how I, as an investor, will see a return on my investment?
Yeah, thanks, Matt. So right now we're in the process of a 150 angel round. We've already received some of it. And how you'll get your money back is, and then some, is by our business model, which is pretty new in this area. So it's a SaaS solution. We offer, right now it's month-to-month contracts, while we prove to people how awesome we are. And it's a transaction fee. So we don't do commission or any of that stuff. We're an accounts receivable SaaS solution. That's our business model. Yeah. Did I answer your question?
Well, how will investors make money? Talk about exit, potential acquirers.
Yeah, so right now actually there's a lot of companies that show interest in partnership right now. One of them is a healthcare kind of revenue cycle management company. We're closing a partnership next Friday. So I see them as being a potential acquisition. I don't see this as a company going public. There's also traditional financial institutions, Wells Fargo, et cetera, that have shown interest in kind of strategic partnerships. So, even Oracle could shove us in their accounts receivable solution, but acquisition.
Thank you.
Sure. So Matt, I have a question here.
Yes.
So, do you do debt recovery? Is that really what you're doing?
No. So what we do is, our whole process is to stop the debt from occurring to begin with. Okay. So we're kind of like the anti-collection agency. So while an account is still within the walls of a company, there is time to collect it, to get that receivable. The reason why it's not being received, a variety of reasons, we solve all of them, but we want to stop the charge-off from happening to begin with. Okay. And we think by doing that, by giving people more financial options while it's still in-house, we avoid charge-off.
And do you know how much difference have you tested? You use machine learning, I'm assuming?
Yeah, so right now our output varies quite a bit. The more customers we have using it, the more clients we have using it, the smarter our machine will get. Right now our output success is matched on whether or not people actually accept their new payment plan and start making payments. That's one of our key metrics.
And then you're going to calculate the likelihood of them accepting the new payment plan?
That's done in the beginning. So we do have it's like a risk management or a risk assessment tool that we do. It's not something we sell necessarily, but it's built into our machine that we use. And so we know right away whether or not someone can probably pay or not. And that's probably pay within the specified parameters of the client. We know at times, someone might only be able to pay 20%, 5%, something like that. Those people will likely continue to move through the traditional collections process because at that point, the company doesn't increase their margin points by using us. Like the ROI is the same or less. So, but yeah, our machine will get smarter and smarter, and the only way to assess is when people pay. But there is kind of like a back end when If someone doesn't accept, there's a whole process to maybe figure out if there was a bias in there or something that we can overcome.
I have a question.
Yeah, oh, the speaker's back there.
Oh, sorry. How difficult is this to imitate? You mentioned this product is only as good as the people that are using it, and so a bigger competitor can easily come in. If they can figure out the software, they have a huge advantage over you.
Yeah. So the thing is that, I mean, it is complex software. So, you know, machine learning is pretty muddy right now, and everyone's kind of tinkering with it to try to figure out how to do it. One of the things that makes us defensible is we've started before anyone else, and our data that we get from the clients or from the consumers make us defensible because it's data that no one else has. On top of that, you know, finding someone to process these types of payments is really hard. So even just building an accounts receivable solution and finding someone to process those payments is like a needle in the haystack. So try to find that needle. Yeah.
Thank you.
Sure.
All right, Matt, looks like we're out of time, but you're gonna hang out for questions later on?
Yeah, I ran way short, so if you have more questions, I'll be happy to answer. Thanks.